Hi, Plainfield Public School parents and guardians. Today we're going to be doing a little demo and walkthrough on how to use a Chromebook issued to you by the public schools. So here we have a HP Chromebook, and you're going to notice Chrome by the display up here where it says Chrome. Chrome is a type of operating system similar to Windows or Mac OS, meant for laptops, specifically for schools and stuff like that. So we're going to first move this. And you can see that it's plugged in. We generally like to keep our laptops plugged in, otherwise they'll have to go on battery power, which actually takes a little bit of energy away from the computer and the processing power, and makes it a little bit harder to do Zooms and Google Meets. A couple things you're going to notice as well is that here on one of the sides, you're going to have a USB port, and you're going to have a microphone port or a headphone port. This is very important if you might have a noisy environment for your child, so they can plug in headphones. There's also Bluetooth on all these devices as well, so they can use Bluetooth, but there's a headphone port for those of you that have the plug-in headphones. Additionally, all these USB ports allow you to be able to plug in keyboards if you have it, or charging your devices at the same time. On this other side, we have another USB port. We also have an HDMI port, which allows you to plug this into a larger monitor. You can even plug it into a TV, should you so choose to. And then we have a micro SD, which some models do or don't have. This just allows you to add more storage if you ever do run out on here. But since most of these do operate using Google Drive, you shouldn't really ever be able to run out. And the charging plug will be located on one side or the other. Sometimes you'll have a round plug, kind of like this. Sometimes you'll have a flat plug. Just depends on the specific model of your Chromebook. So to turn it on, most of the time you just have to open it up. However, most of them do have a power button in the top right, or sometimes it'll be along the side here on the right-hand side. And you'll see that Chrome is booting up. And while it's booting up, we'll notice that on the top, we do have a camera. You'll see it right here. You'll see the camera right there. And right next to it is also a microphone as well. Down below, you have a mostly full-size keyboard, and you do have a trackpad as well, which allows you to operate the cursor and click and double-click as you so choose. So when you are doing a Zoom or Google Meet, just make sure that you or your child stare into the camera up here, and also talk towards the camera because the microphone's right next to it, and we'll be able to pick up your voice much easier that way. So to log in, normally what you're going to be doing is using your child's last name, first initial, and then the year of graduation. So for example, if my child's name was John Smith, I would do Smith, J, and then the year of graduation. We'll say just for this, it'll be 2025, even though more than likely it's going to be a little bit past that. So we just put 25 at the very end. You'll notice right here that it already has at student.plainfieldschools.org. So you can just hit enter or move the cursor down to the next and hit that. I'm going to log in using a slightly different one though. And you're going to see the logging in screen. Now, should you not be able to connect to the internet and not be able to get to this point, there are a couple of things you can do. First, you can check your Wi-Fi connection. If you go down to the bottom right, you're going to see this kind of always be right here. So if you click this, these are all your settings. You'll notice that Bluetooth is on. That's kind of the default. However, it does draw some power, so unless you really, have a headphones or a keyboard or something connected, you can just go ahead and turn that off. It'll save you a little bit of energy, especially if you're running on batteries. Next, you'll see right here is our Wi-Fi. You can see I'm connected to the district Wi-Fi. However, should you have your own Wi-Fi at your house, you can always click right there, and it'll show you all the available Wi-Fi's, and you just click on yours. If it's password protected, you can turn you type in your password. Otherwise, it'll connect. You'll see it connected by having the full bars and the fact that it says also like strong or medium or weak, depending on where you are in your house. Otherwise, you can adjust the volume here. You can also adjust your brightness here. You can also do that by using keys on the keyboard. You'll see that we have a brightness right here. You can see the screen just got a little bit brighter, and you can also dim it depending on where you are, if it's dark or bright in your house. You also have the volume controls right up here as well. You can see that's moving. So if you can't hear your teacher, you can always turn that up a little bit more. Okay, so and you'll see that as soon as you turn it on, it automatically logs into Google Chrome. So just to kind of show you what that looks like, you have a background, it might look slightly different. There's not really going to be any icons on the background. Instead, you have all your icons down here in the dock. And you'll see that I have Google Chrome already open. You just click on that and it'll pull up the page that's already currently open. As well, we also have a launcher here. This is going to be for all your apps. And you'll see that there's a search bar and it can search for your device, or you can find stuff on the web as well. If you click the up arrow, you're going to see any programs that are on your Chromebook already. So obviously we have Chrome. We also have Files, which is where you can find any screenshots that you might take, or if you download it in PDFs or anything like that, you'll see that here. You also have Gmail. However, students below 4th grade don't have Gmail enabled. Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets, Google Drive, which is where all those are located. So you'll be able to find any sheets, docs, slides inside your Google Drive. YouTube, which is part of Google, you can just go straight there by clicking to here. Something that might be handy though is there is a camera app. So if you need to take any pictures of homework or anything like that, or schoolwork, you can always do that. And it will use this camera here. So you might have to orient the keyboard and the computer a certain way to take good photos, but it's definitely possible. Then you have your Google Classroom right here for those of you in 1st grade or higher. You can just click here and it'll take you straight to your child's Google Classrooms. You'll see all of them listed out. And then you have Zoom built in for when you do a Zoom with a teacher. If you do a Google Meet, you can go straight to the teacher's Google Classroom, and they should have a Google Meet code somewhere in their classroom. Okay, so now here we have Google Chrome. You'll see right here that we have our bookmarks open. We have a bookmark folder right here. And generally for our district, we have the STAR reading exam or the test there, along with the district website and stuff like that. Teachers might give students certain links to click to, and it'll take them here in Google Chrome. One thing we should show you is anytime you open a new tab, it'll take you just to the Google page, and you'll see right here that I have, it'll be the name of your student here, your child. Right here, they also have the Google Apps. So if you're trying to get to Google Drive or to Google Classroom, you can click right here, and it'll show you all the apps available to your student in our district. So there's YouTube, there's Maps, Google Classroom, Google Docs, Google Drive. All that is located in this nice, easy-to-use place. If you ever do have any issues connecting to, you can always go to our Barracuda extension. This is our privacy portal for our district. Sometimes the Chromebooks use it and they don't recognize your Wi-Fi. So you might have to click on here and then click sync, and then it'll sync up with our servers, and then you should be good to go from there on out. If your child does have any extensions, sometimes some teachers use extensions to aid in education. You can find any extensions that might be on here, right here. So we do have we have our security on there. Some teachers might use some Google Meet extensions, and you'll find them all there. Okay, I think that's about it for the Chromebook. I'm going to be making some other videos showcasing how to use Seesaw on Google Classroom. So please check out that content for some more.